Moore, Oklahoma. A day after losing his son in a car wreck, a grieving father drove his pickup truck onto a crowded sidewalk near a suburban high school outside of Oklahoma City, killing 2 teenagers and plunging the community into a wider circle of grief.
4 other students were injured in Monday's after-school tragedy, and police officers arrested the man, Max Leroy Townsend, a few blocks away.
The big question a lot of people have is why. What happened? Why did this happen? Sergeant Jeremy Lewis of the police department in Moore, Oklahoma, said on Tuesday. "We've had investigators working on this since 3:30 yesterday, all night, and will continue to work on this, and I assure you we will find out why."
Mr. Townsend's son, Cody, 28, was killed on Sunday near a city park in Moore, the authorities said, when his car struck another vehicle and then flipped over into a telephone pole.
On Monday afternoon, the elder Mr. Townsend, 57, was driving his red pickup truck along a busy avenue outside Moore High School at the end of the school day, the police said.
Members of the school's cross-country team were on the sidewalk, starting their after-school run. According to the police, Mr. Townsend's truck suddenly plowed into a vehicle, drove into the cross-country runners on the sidewalk and then struck 2 other vehicles. He kept driving but was later apprehended.
The carnage he left behind on East Main Street stunned students, parents, teachers and administrators. Rachel Freeman, a senior, was killed at the scene. A second student, Yuridia Martinez, a sophomore, died on Tuesday. 4 other students were injured, at least one of whom remained in critical condition on Tuesday, the authorities said.
"It's a somber day today, but you have a lot of kids and a lot of staff members that are leaning on each other," Dustin Horstkoetter, the safety director for Moore Public Schools, told reporters.
Mr. Townsend was booked into the Cleveland County Jail on a charge of first-degree manslaughter and 6 counts of leaving the scene of an accident. The police said it was not yet known whether the crash was an accident or a purposeful act of rage and grief. They said they did not know how fast the pickup truck was traveling at the time of the crash.
The Moore police chief, Todd Strickland, said Mr. Townsend showed signs of being intoxicated during a field sobriety test. The police obtained a warrant to draw his blood and were awaiting the results of toxicology tests from the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation.
Sergeant Lewis said Mr. Townsend, who does not live in Moore but has relatives in town, had previous arrests for driving under the influence, drug possession and leaving the scene of an accident.
In the moments after the crash, students helped point the police in the direction of the fleeing vehicle, called 911 and began performing CPR on their classmates before teachers and emergency personnel arrived. The force of the impact threw Ms. Martinez, the student who later died, over a fence and into a school duck pond. Her classmates jumped into the pond to pull her out.
The students rose to the challenge. Robert Romines, the superintendent of Moore Public Schools, said in an interview. After that, teachers and coaches rose to the challenge.
4 of the students who were struck by the pickup were set to sign cross-country scholarships for college on Wednesday, including Rachel Freeman, the senior who died at the scene.
"We have students with broken hearts," Mr. Romines said. "We had adults who have broken hearts. This is a struggle. Schools across the state are offering help to answer the call."
Moore High School is one of the largest high schools in Oklahoma, with about 2,500 students on a sprawling, 80-acre campus. The school had been reeling from another fatal crash weeks earlier, in December. In that case, an 18-year-old student, Emily Gaines, was killed in Oklahoma City after her SUV was hit by a speeding car driven by an off-duty Moore police officer. Ms. Gaines, a senior, had been heading to take the ACT, a college entrance test. The officer, Kyle Lloyd, has been charged with first-degree manslaughter.
Colby Crum, a senior who was injured in Monday's sidewalk crash, was in critical condition on Tuesday, officials said. Joseph White, a senior, and Shiloh Hutchinson, a junior, remain hospitalized. Ashton Baza, a sophomore, was released after sustaining a broken leg and broken ankle, the authorities said.
Ben Fennick reported from Moore, Oklahoma, and Manny Fernandez from Houston.